don't mind me just setting the ambiance for today's video. Welcome to another day, another bookmas. This one I'm so excited about because we're doing yet another little cozy sit down chit chat video, and in this video we are talking about some 2024 book releases that are coming out this year, and then once we go through all of them I'm going to tell you guys out of all of them which ones that I feel could have a 5-star potentially attached to them. This is the best time when you're hopeful for all the new books that are coming out. Grabbing a blanket, you guys grab a blanket, grab a drink, grab a snack, grab your homework, and let's all chit chat about some books that are coming out in the new year. The impatience that I feel for a lot of these books to come out in the new year, I feel like 2024 has some very promising books on the horizons, okay? I will say this is as of today when I'm uploading this, of what has been announced for new releases. I really scoured through for probably like an hour through Bookstagram to find even some that I feel like are from authors that I've never heard of that are coming out with new releases or are doing debut novels next year, to kind of get more of a taste out there and try to find some new authors in the new year. So let's talk about some 2024 releases. First and foremost, quite obviously, we all know what is coming out on January 30th, which feels like a late birthday present. It literally feels destined for me. It feels like this is purposeful on Sarah J. Maas's part, and that is Crescent City 3 House of Flame and Shadow. This is coming out on the 30th. We all know how excited I am for this. This is the third book, as I think I've already said, in the Crescent City series by Sarah J. Maas. You see information everywhere, but I think this series is plotted out for 4 books, so this is the 3rd book. I am so excited for this. You guys know that in January of this year, I read House of Sky and Breath, and absolutely have went feral over that book for every single month into the year. I have not stopped thinking about it literally for a single day, and as we get closer and closer to the release of Crescent City 3, I don't even want to know the person that I will become. I am literally going to lock all my doors, not let anybody in my room, and I am not speaking to anyone until I finish that book. Next up, we have The Breakup Tour by Emily Wibberley and Austin Sigmund Broca. This is coming out January 23rd, I believe. Some of these dates may be wrong also, because I feel like there's different sources everywhere that are saying when certain books are coming out. This says that it's coming out January 23rd, and I just love the cover of this book, if I'm being honest. I don't think I've ever actually finished a book by these authors. These are like married authors, I'm pretty sure. I started the roughest draft like a year ago and never finished it fully, and then I never picked up another one of their books, even though I own like 3 of them. But I will say that this one just looks so promising. I think the thing that they like specialize in is like second chance romances. That's pretty much like what all of their adult romances that I know of are. Like Roughest Draft is second chance, Do I Know You is second chance, pretty sure this one is second chance, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that this book is extremely like Swiftie coded, but it looks very promising. Next up, we have The Rule Book by Sarah Adams. This comes out on April 2nd. Sarah Adams was definitely talked about, I feel like, a lot this year, definitely during the spring and summertime. I know When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect were like 2 highly talked about books, I feel like, all over all of the book community, and they were like very universally liked, I feel. I'm very excited. I remember reading The Cheat Sheet back in 2022, and I really liked that book. I really enjoyed When in Rome and Practice Makes Perfect as well, and so I'm very excited for The Rule Book. I think this one is also like a second chance romance between a football player, and they used to be like college sweethearts or something like that. I think that Sarah Adams has very cute, sweet books that are short, easy, fast to read, and just always like an enjoyable time. Next up, this one I don't know a lot about, but this is Not in Love by Ellie Hazelwood. This is rumored to come out on June 11th, and I will say that I remember like when she posted this cover, and she kind of announced the book, kind of didn't. She said that she's still kind of like, it's not edited, she's still kind of like in the middle of writing it, but this is the cover that everybody's like running with. I don't know now if this is like really set in stone that this is like when it's coming out and this is the book that's coming out, but obviously I really enjoy literally all of Ellie Hazelwood's books. All 3 of her books have been a 4-star and above for me. Her books are just very enjoyable. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. Next up, obviously, we have Funny Story by Emily Henry. This is actually coming out April 2nd, and we all know how I feel about Emily Henry. She is definitely one of my most favorite authors of all time. She's 100% in the top 3. This storyline just honestly seems very funny. Like, it's very appropriately named Funny Story, because basically from what I remember, it's like she is dating this guy and basically he leaves her for his childhood best friend, so she ends up moving in with that girl's ex. Do you get that? I don't know if that makes any sense. I just know that Emily Henry is going to deliver with banter, angst, subplots that I just know are going to eat. Like, I am just so excited for anything Emily Henry. April 2nd is just a good day, okay, because also Abby Jimenez is coming out with a book just for the summer. I actually have already pre-ordered a Barnes & Noble exclusive of this book. I am so excited. I absolutely love and adore Abby Jimenez's book. I feel like a lot of book plots are going with the either second chance romance this year, or they're going with this like, we're gonna help each other find like our one true loves. I feel like I've been seeing that with some plots. This one just got announced and it actually does not have a release date yet. That is Daydream by Hannah Grace. This is coming out sometime in 2024. First of all, the first thing that I noticed when I saw the cover reveal, one, it's Henry's book. We've all been waiting for Henry's book if you are reading the Maple Hill series. If you're reading the Maple Hill series, you know we have all been waiting for Henry's book. Also, she is wearing the folklore cardigan on the cover. She's illustrated wearing the folklore cardigan. The main character is like trying to write her own romance book, and we all know that Henry is just like a golden retriever softie. He's so sweet and caring, and so I cannot wait to read what she does with Henry and his story. Hopefully it does not disappoint. I've had a year of disappointing anticipated reads and I cannot have another one. Next up we have, I don't think I've ever read a book from this author, but when I was scanning Bookstagram for 2024 releases, I came across this one, which is Flirty Little Secret, and this one I just thought sounded so cute. Obviously the cover caught my eye, but then I looked into the synopsis of the book and it's basically like two teachers. It's like a You've Got Mail retelling, so I think that they start talking anonymously and they don't know that they're talking to each other. You've Got Mail is literally one of my favorite rom-coms, so any type of You've Got Mail retelling I am signing up for, and this one just sounds just so sweet. Next up we have a book from Catherine Center, and this one is coming out in sometime in the summer, I think, and that is The Rom-Commers. I literally adore the cover of this book, and basically it's about like a screenwriter. He gets his job to kind of like fix this other screenwriter stuff, and he's like very respected in their whole entire like frame of work, but they get off to the wrong spot and they're writing like rom-coms together. It just seems like such a sweet book. Next up we have The Catch from Amy Lee. This comes out February 13th. This one is number 3 in the influencer series, so it's X's and O's. Well, it's Set on You, then X's and O's, and now The Catch. This one is about, I think, their fashion influencer friend. She basically goes to this, I think, like a small town and meets this fisherman, and it just kind of was giving It Happened One Summer vibes, and I remember really, really liking It Happened One Summer, and I've never really found a book like that, and this one is kind of giving the same thing. Like, influencer, grumpy fisherman, like, it's just giving the same thing, so I'm very interested to see with Amy Lee's writing how much I will like it. Next up, we have Expiration Dates. This is the same author as In 5 Years, which I remember reading back in like I think 2021 when I was still in high school. I read that book, and I think this author, I think it's like the main character always gets these like slips of paper sent to her, and it has the guy's name and how long she's going to be with him, and so she just kind of has been getting these pieces of paper for like 20 years or so, and then finally one day she gets a piece of paper that's like just the guy's name, but it doesn't really have an expiration date. She doesn't know what's going to happen. She's like harboring secrets from him that he can't know and find out about. Next up we have Seven Summers. This one comes out May 21st. This is also by another author that I don't think I've read a book from before. Basically the plot is that you have Liv and Finn, and basically they have this like summer romance together, but they can't be together, so they decide every single summer, if like they're single, they will spend the summer together. But then one summer Liv meets somebody else and she kind of learns why this guy is running away from home, and it's kind of this romance. Again, this kind of felt more like an emotional romance to me that has more like depth to it, and I've really been wanting to add books like that into my reading because I do love romance books, obviously, but I've started to get to the point where I really want them to have sometimes, like not all the time, because sometimes they can just be the romance and I'm like, cool, but sometimes I want them to have more of that like depth of a storyline, so I've been trying to like seek out some books, and this one seemed pretty interesting to me. Next up we have The Grandest Game by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This comes out July 30th, and I think this is the only other book that she's doing for the Hawthorne brothers. Hopefully this one is a lot better than the brothers Hawthorne that came out this year that I read and was severely disappointed by. But I even said that the book that came out this year felt more of like a setup for the next book. The other book felt like a novella. So I do have a little bit of like higher hopes for The Grandest Game, because I do feel like Jennifer Lynn Barnes did set up for this book to be a little bit better. Next up we have Happily Never After by Lynn Painter. This is an adult romance from her, and this one I'm pretty sure like they are hired to do like objections at wedding or like crash weddings, something like that. And I think that Lynn Painter has has like literal rom-com writing when you watch a rom-com movie. I feel like she puts that into a book like exquisitely, and so I really love reading her books because they do feel like literally watching like a rom-com. Next up, this one just seemed cute. I saw this again. This is like a newer author. This is Hate Mail. The cover of this book is so adorable. I didn't find a release date for this one, but I'm pretty sure this one is like they are like pen pals when they're in elementary school, and then it's years later and they had been pen pals. I think somebody stopped writing. I think the guy stopped writing, and then they end up going to the same high school together. Next up, we have The Breakup Pact. Basically, it is like two best friends, or like two ex-best friends who haven't talked to each other in like 10 years. Both of their breakups with their exes went viral, so then they decide to like date each other as kind of like a comeback. I am sorry for the person that I will be when this book comes out. It is Dishonestly Yours by Kristen and Becca Ritchie. This comes out July 2nd. It is a new series that they are doing, and if you guys don't know who Kristen and Becca Ritchie is, they are the masterminds behind the Addicted Calloway Sister series. Basically, I think it's like a crime family, and it's like a best friend's brother sort of situation. Next up, we have Play Along. I don't know when this one is coming out, but this is the last book in the Windy City series. I am so excited for it, especially after reading Caught Up, because basically it is about the guy from Caught Up. It's his brother that's in this book, and you kind of see throughout Caught Up who the romance is going to be with. The little breadcrumbs that you get, and especially at the end of the book, I was so excited. Like, I wish that the book was already out, that way I could read it, because I was so excited after reading that book. I really enjoy the Windy City series, so I'm very excited to read this last book, especially because I really love the brother when reading Caught Up. Next up, Elsie Silver has a new series that's coming out, and the book is Wild Love. I forget the name of the series that's coming out, but I am so excited because I absolutely adore the Chestnut Spring series, and you learned about the guy, I'm pretty sure you learned about the guy who this first book is about. I feel like Elsie Silver just knows the formula of what she's doing, so I'm very much looking forward to reading that one. Of course, we have the reappearance of Rachel Price. This is also coming out on April 2nd, I'm pretty sure. So this is Holly Jackson's new book. I'm pretty sure, is it going to be series or is it a standalone? I don't know. This is the author of Good Girls Guide to Murder. I still need to read Five Survive. I've literally been seeing, like, I think Rachel read that book recently. I've seen so many people read it, and I remember buying it like the day that it came out, and then I just have never read it, and I really loved A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, so I'm very interested to see what she does. The last one that we have, of course, is Taming 7 by Chloe Walsh. This one's coming out in March. I forget the exact day, but just know, prepare to be sick of me, because this is the most anticipated book of the series. Oh my god, this is Gibbsy's book. I have been waiting for this since I started Binding 13. I don't know what to do with myself. I honestly don't, okay? He is just everything to me, and I can't wait. We have been getting the literal breadcrumbs. So I am so excited for his book. Those are all of the new releases that I have. So let's talk about some 5-star predictions. So out of all of these books, I really looked at the plot and really thought about the authors and thinking about what books could quite possibly get a 5-star rating. First and foremost, obviously we have Crescent City 3. I 100% expect that to be a 5-star read. If it's not, you guys probably will not hear from me. Number 2, Funny Story. Again, I feel like this is like an automatic 5 stars, and it may be dangerous to really go in with these really high expectations, but these are 2 of my most favorite authors. Number 3, we have Daydream. I love Icebreaker. I love Wildfire, and this one is literally about Henry, so I feel like I'm going to love it. Taming 7, again, a given. I absolutely expect that book to be a 5-star. Again, if it's not, you probably won't hear from me because I will be screaming and crying at my pillow. That is all I have for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Found some books to put on your 2024 TBR, and I hope that these make you excited for some 2024 releases. I know that there are probably a bunch that I missed, but I was really scouring Bookstagram to try to find the most that I was really excited for and that had like more dates to them and more like covers and everything. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video and found some books to add to your 2024 TBR. Don't blame me for having a really big physical TBR after this, okay? What can I say? So thank you so much again for watching another day of Bookmas. I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys when I see ya, which is tomorrow.